Guys, I gotta be real with you. If you've been plateaued for the past 3, 6, 12, 18 months and your business hasn't taken off the way that you wanted it to, or it did go well, but now it's plateaued and you aren't going further up with your business, this video is honestly the antidote to that problem. I literally have 3 friends that are struggling with this problem right now with their businesses. And here's what it is. Here's the cancer. You ready for it? The cancer is when you're not getting sales, you start focusing on operations instead. Another way of putting that, instead of focusing on revenue generating activities, you start focusing on non-revenue generating activities. Okay? Let's break that down. The first thing is that sales is first. Now, some people say sales is king, sales is the best, sales is better. I don't believe that. I believe that sales and operations are like king and queen, okay? They're at the same level. However, sales comes first and operations comes second. That's so important to know. Okay? Because if you mix that up, if you put operations first, you don't have a business. Let's think about it logically. Let's say that you and I go into business together. Okay? We start selling, I don't know, curtains. And we're like, man, we got to make the best curtains ever. What if I spend all day and all night working in my shop and I go and make all these cool curtains and I make them with polka dots and stripes and all these different colors, right? And I spend months and months and months making them, right? Then after months, I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready to sell them. Oh, wait, no, I got to make them a little better. I spend a couple more months and then after a year, I finally make them perfectly. And then I go out and nobody wants them. Or even worse, I go out and a few people want them. And I say, okay, how can I tweak it? And maybe a few more people want it after 18 months. And a few more people after 24 months. And 10 years down the road, I have this tiny little business that's making $10,000 a year or $10,000 a month, let's say. And I'm just barely getting along after 10 years of doing this mess. It just makes me so sad. Now, if that's something that you want, to be grinding away for 10 years to finally be making a little bit of money after 10 years, sure, that's your prerogative. You can go ahead and do that if you want. It's a free country. But if you really want to have a successful business after your first year, second year, even first 6 months, you have to focus on getting sales first. Let me tell you a story I recently heard from a podcaster. He said, what I do with my companies, now take this and implement it in your own business, okay? Here's what he would do, and then we'll look at what you can do. He is a rich man, so he would say, I would think of a product, I come up with a great product, and then I would run $50,000 to $100,000 in Facebook ads. Now, if the idea blew up and he's like, sometimes we get several $1 million in orders from that $50,000 to $100,000 of Facebook ads. Then, second, I go and create the product and I go and deliver it to them. Okay? So you get that? He first does the Facebook ads, $50,000 to $100,000 in Facebook ads, and then second, after he knows that it works, then he goes and delivers it. And he says, a lot of times I'll put $50,000 to $100,000 in and I won't get any money back, or I'll get $10,000 or $20,000 back, or I'll get $50,000 or $100,000 back. And I say, no, I don't want to do those deals. And he'll refund the money if he doesn't end up delivering the product to the people, obviously. But the point is that he does the sales first. He finds out if it's something that people want. And then second, if it is, he goes and creates the product around it and then delivers it to them, because he knows whether people actually want it or not. If you spend all this time creating this product and then you find out, oh wait, nobody wanted what I just made, well then you just wasted a year of your life, 2 years of your life creating these operations. And I've seen it sadly. Here's my second point, is that operations is second. I've seen it with 3 different friends right now that 2 of them are starting businesses. 1 of them is in a business right now, and all 3 of them are like, no, I just have to focus on operations and get it a little bit better, tweak it a little bit better before I can start selling. Or they don't even focus on sales. They're just like, yeah, I need to create this awesome product. We're doing okay in sales, but I just want to. It's kind of like a procrastination, if you will, on spending time doing operations, doing how can I make my truck run 5% better? How can I cut down on these costs $100 a month? Rather than focus on cutting expenses, you should be focused on increasing your revenue. I love what Grant Cardone said in, I think it was Sell or Be Sold. He said, I focus 90% of my time on increasing my revenue and 10% of my time on decreasing expenses. And he's like, just think about it. Why would I focus on cutting out little tiny things? Like, how can I reduce my expenses $100 a month versus how can I increase $1,000 a month? Because if I increase it $1,000 a month, now I can keep that $100 thing and I'm making $900 on top of it. You get what I'm saying? So focus. I can't say this enough because I've seen it over and over. I've done it myself and every one of my friends who I talk to. I just talked to one of my good friends today about it. That we said, it's so easy to get caught in that trap when you're starting a business to say, I need to create the product and I need to go out and focus on operations and create the perfect system around it. Or once you have a business that's doing some revenue, to stop focusing on sales and to focus on how can I make the operations run a little bit better. You have to focus on getting sales. And then once you get the sales, then you can focus on operations. Because I believe that it's just as important. It just comes in second. And if you don't get that sequencing aligned, then you're going to be in a world of trouble. Last story I'm going to share with you is a personal experience. My country dance hall 4 years ago, we were doing good money, but we plateaued, and we had been plateaued for about a year. And during that year, I kept on focusing on how can the team run a little bit better? How can we create better operations manuals? How can we do this better? But really, secretly, deep down, if I don't really like to admit it, but deep down, it was because I was scared to go and do sales. Now, if that's you, either one, you're just ignorant of it. Because a lot of people, when you're just starting up, you think that you have to have the perfect product and you're just ignorant to doing sales. That's fine. Now you know. Now you don't have that ignorance and that clicked with you and you're like, oh, great. Now I know. I can focus on sales. Great. Now, if you're in the other camp and you're feeling afraid of going and doing sales, that's something that you honestly just have to man up to it. And you just have to say, I know that this sucks. I know that this is hard and I have to do it. Now, if that's not your strength, if that's not something that you're amazing at, then maybe it's worthwhile going and finding a partner that is really good at sales, that does sales very naturally, and find that person that you can partner up with in your business, okay? With that said, 2 challenges. One is start focusing on sales first. Put sales first in your company and operations second. And the second thing is go ahead and take my mastermind class. It's how to start and automate your business $100,000 a month in your first year. Okay, it's an amazing course. I spent many hours on creating it, but it honestly took years and years of going through the trials and errors to come up with the content of that course, doing through my own businesses and other businesses that I partnered up with, okay? So go ahead, check out that course. It's in the link below, and I'll see you guys next time.